On yesterday, members of the Black Caucus joined with Senate Democrats to blast Republicans for continuing to block a potential Supreme Court nominee who will be put forth by President Barack Obama. They said it perfectly clear to the GOP, it's time to do your job.
The Constitution clearly states that the president has not only the power, but a duty, a sacred duty and responsibility to fill seats on our federal court.
I am grateful as a minority to say that many of the rights that I have secured were secured through the constitutional determination by the United States Supreme Court. I am desirous of that not being denied to yet the unborn children and young people and those vulnerable people of America.
The Constitution does not direct the president to withhold a nomination or the Senate to ignore a nomination during an election year. Thus, our message to the GOP is clear: do your job.
And of course, we're still waiting for President Barack Obama to actually appoint a nominee, and we made it perfectly clear here. We certainly hope he picks a black woman to be the nominee. Speaking of the president, yesterday he announced that he plans to stay in Washington, D.C. after his second term as president is up. While in Milwaukee at a luncheon to celebrate the Healthy Communities Challenge, the president shared that, quote, "We're going to have to stay a couple of years so Sasha can finish." His youngest daughter, Sasha, attends high school in Washington, D.C., and the family wants her to graduate from that school instead of transferring in the middle of the school year. Sasha Obama is expected to graduate in 2018. It is very rare for a president, once their term is up, to actually stay in the nation's capital, but the president made it perfectly clear that it's going to happen. All right, folks, actress Zoe Saldana is getting a huge backlash for her portrayal of soul legend Nina Simone in the upcoming biopic Nina. The search for the right actress to play Simone began in 2010, and after several casting setbacks, producers decided on Saldana. Critics felt the actress did not resemble the late singer, saying she was far too light-skinned, and also Saldana is Dominican and Puerto Rican descent. And the issue for Simone is that she, of course, she's African-American, and throughout her career, she often talked about the whole issue of being a dark-skinned woman. Black Twitter went crazy. I'm talking about unbelievably crazy, blasting her, blasting the makers of it, and even the family of Nina Simone did the exact same thing. Now, Saldana tweeted this: "I'll tell you what freedom is to me. No fear. I mean, really, no fear." But the Nina Simone estate came back literally saying, don't even mention Nina Simone. Don't let it come out of your mouth. You hear that? Cool story, but please take Nina's name out of your mouth for the rest of your life. Bob Johnson, who of course co-founder of BET, he issued a statement defending Zoe Saldana, saying Zoe Saldana delivers an exceptional and mesmerizing tribute to Nina Simone. She gave her heart and soul to the role and displayed her extraordinary talent. The most important thing is that creativity or quality of performance should never be judged on the basis of color or ethnicity or physical likeness. Quite interesting. Joining me right now is Josie Pickens. She's a culture critic, professor, and she wrote a piece in Ebony.com called "While Zoe Saldana as Nina Simone Doesn't Work." She joins us from Houston, Texas. Josie, why do you say it doesn't work?
I mean, it simply doesn't work. When we think about Nina Simone and we think about her unapologetic blackness, a lot of that unapologetic blackness kind of surrounds her image and how she looks physically. The fact that, you know, she went from when she first started recording, wearing short wigs, you know, straight wigs, to donning her natural hair, celebrating her full nose, her full lips, her dark skin. And there was a cost that came along with that for Nina growing up in the South during Jim Crow. And so when you have someone whose legacy is focused in blackness, black culture, yes, but also this black aesthetic, this black beauty, then, you know, someone like Saldana, who doesn't really have the same ideas as Nina, who also, as she presents as Afro-Latina sometimes, but she also has made many comments saying that she doesn't really see color.
Well, let me ask you this question. Well, let me ask you this, though. Idris Elba played Nelson Mandela. Looked nothing like Nelson Mandela. Nelson Mandela was a lot more light-skinned. Idris Elba was a lot darker. And then, of course, we have the recent controversy where a white actor is going to be playing Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson once said, "I don't want anybody white playing me," and the producers absolutely ignored that. And so, how then do we make the case when we had examples of somebody dark-skinned playing somebody light-skinned, or somebody light-skinned playing somebody dark-skinned, but then now we're saying, oh, but Zoe Saldana can't play Nina Simone?
Well, I think there are a couple of things to consider in that. As far as Idris and Nelson Mandela, well, of course, that was a casting call. I really didn't necessarily see a likeness. But when we're talking about that Michael Jackson film, I think that everybody is against that as well. And Saldana, I mean, the fact that she is donning essentially, blackface, prosthetic nose, she's doing this, it just is anti-Nina, especially when there were so many black actresses who could have played that part more accurately.
So I want to go to our panel here. Amber, you saying she's blackface, but that's not blackface.
Thank you.
That is, I mean, we know blackface is literally mixing charcoal and other elements together to literally blackface. I mean, dark makeup is not blackface.
Okay, well, dark makeup, I think Idris also did not extremely alter the color of his skin. What we're looking at, Zoe, she is an Afro-Latina woman. She is black, and she can lay claim to that. But I think it's just ironic as we look at what's going on in Hollywood, how we're still not making opportunities for different kind of dark beauty, dark black people playing the roles of other dark black folks. Nina Simone's entire career, she talks about being young, gifted, and black. It is an experience, and I'm not saying that Zoe can't relate to it because of her skin tone, but I do just think they should have taken better care to have someone play her who did not have to change, literally paint their body to be who Nina Simone is. Now, if she became Nina Simone without darkening her skin, then we would be having a completely different conversation.
As someone who, I know the lyrics to every Nina Simone song, loved all of her work, unapologetically black, and I will say, as someone who always will tell people, I am very proud to be a Jamaican American. I think this is where, as a community, we do things that are idiotic. I don't think that anyone should be beating up on Zoe Saldana, either claiming that she's not an African American or harping on the fact that she, where her ancestry is. We're all part of the diaspora. We're all part of the diaspora. White actors all the time. They put on weight, they lose weight. They wear a prosthetic nose, they take one off. They get Oscars for these amazing, ways that they change their appearance to play a role. Don't be mad at Zoe Saldana. Be angry at the people who did the casting. They could have cast Lupita from 12 Years a Slave. There are a number of beautiful, dark-skinned African-American women that could have played the role, but we should not penalize her either because of her descent or because she's light-skinned and had to change her appearance.
Hold tight 1 second, okay? We were going to go to our DNA ancestry piece that we recorded next. I want to hold that. Because I think this is an important conversation, because it also gets into African Americans demanding more roles, but then now we're saying, okay, let's demand different roles once we're now inside of the roles. So we're going to come back just 1 second to talk more about this huge controversy as it relates to this Nina Simone biopic right here on News 1 Now TV 1.